Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let's continue on our mystery of where this other entrance could be. Only one side of the enclosed cabin is furnished with a door. The other has only windows. Fixed windows, which cannot possibly open in short. There is no entrance to the cabin other than the door. But there could be. There's only one possibility you haven't considered. Oh, really? Yes. One other way inside that isn't the door. Another opening, the use of which allowed the victim to appear inside the enclosed cabin. Alright, counsel. The defense will identify the location of the court. And here's the omnibus on which the incident occurred. Where on earth in this entrance by which you have proposed the victim entered the cabin? You know, considering we got this far to an image, I think I chose the right choice. Alright, so there was a door here. There's windows that I think too small for anyone to enter and through. There's a skylight. Does the skylight open? I don't know. Does the skylight open? I wish I observed that. Can I observe that now? So we got the skylight. Wait. I see something like a little latch. Does that mean the skylight actually does open? There is a latch. That means it does open. You certainly see the inside of the carriage through the opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp enclosed inside, so I'm sure the wind's... That's not good for us, blah, blah, blah. No, I see it. I see it. There's a latch. There's one on the other side. Does this, like, go down open? Or does it slide open? Well, either way, I think that's the best choice we can make. Take that! Oh, the music stopped. That means I got it right. The answer is obvious. It can only have been the skylight. I say, the skylight?
Objection!
I think I made the right choice. Your ludicrous proposal almost has me lost for words. However,
Objection.
The skylight may well be large enough for someone to pass
Objection.
through. So you claim... Do you have a shred of evidence to support your Abdul brain theory? Both Mr. McGilden and Mr. Stretch said the same in their testimony. They each claim to have heard a loud thud, such as the noise made by someone falling to the floor. Yes, which has already been explained as the sound of the victim falling from a seat having been assaulted with the dagger. Yes, it has, but would a man slipping from the seat onto the floor really have made such a loud noise as the witness describes? A loud noise enough to cause Mr. Lestrade to let out an involuntary cry, in fact. Good gracious! Perhaps, in fact, was the moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let me rephrase that. The victim didn't enter the cabin as such. He fell into it.
Objection!
You're now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight into the cabin? That's simply impossible. How can you be so sure? Because if the victim had fallen inside through the skylight, as you say, the passengers on the roof deck would have seen it happen. And yet, not one person made mention of such events in their testimony. Well, yes, that's true, but... Oh, what is he gonna say now? Might I, humble fella, make a wee comment here? Mr. McGilden. To be sure now, the two fellows who were sat on the roof that testified afore said nothing of the victim falling through the skylight. But it seems to me, my lord, that 'tis not so much a case of them not saying. Aye. 'Tis a case of them being unable to say. What? Thinks perhaps the two fellas do be having something of a compelling reason not to mention what happened. Would yous not agree, fine ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Humph! Oh my goodness, surely not. Those two chaps on the roof. You mean the ones who snuck the knife in the man were... Ah! Those two guys? I feel like it would... You know what? The one that feels like the one who would actually do it is that guy right there. Fair play. Just what exactly are you insinuating here, you blitherer? You rotter, he said. You rotter. What are you insinuating? This is a flaming outrage. I've got a good mind to give you a blinker in a minute. He'll give it to you shiner in a minute, he said. And so will I. Mr. Fairplay, you're effectively accusing a city gentleman, a well-respected banker, and me, a very angry hatter, suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed that man in the guts. It's a disgrace. It's scandalous. I protest. I protest in the strongest possible term. That's right. I protest too. About you, you rotten scoundrel. He just jumped up into the jury. So many people there. Order! 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 This is not the time, witnesses. I will not permit this wanton invasion of the stand. Return to the anteroom at once. But this is beyond reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very hurtful, you know? My lord, if I may comment. Go ahead, Lord Van Zeeks. It was the defense that incited this outburst from the witnesses. My learned friend has seen fit to abandon all protocol and accuse the witnesses without proof. Accuse? I never intended to. It seems, young Nipponese, that your command of the English tongue is wanting. You proposed to this court that the victim fell through the skylight from the roof deck of the omnibus. That hypothesis cannot possibly stand without the rooftop passengers being aware of the events. You have branded these gentlemen liars. You have intimated the criminal guilt. Oh gosh, my throat. In our British court of law, that is what is termed a baseless accusation. I know I was rash to put the idea forward, but without any extra evidence, but you can't just dismiss it without a second thought. What are we wasting time for? Get them to testify. I thought there was something fishy about that hat from the moment I laid eyes on that fellow. We have to see this matter through now, one way or another. If there's filth and rubbish in our minds, we must dispose of it at once. What's happening, Mr. Naruto? The spectators in the public gallery they're in a complete frenzy. Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. My lord. You will take the stand again and make another formal testimony in reference to the indictment brought by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think this through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Alright, I got to get these guys to testify again. And it looks like we have the other two people on the stand still. I can see McGilded's shoulder, elbow, refuting the accusations. We were the only two people up on the roof deck, dead or alive, I swear to that. If anything had happened where we were sitting, don't you think one or other of us would have noticed? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Alright, that is a complete lie. See it? Complete lie by this leisure. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't have possibly opened it. If you're so sure the victim fell through the skylight, where is your proof? Alright, so we got a couple statements, but let's see if we can jump down on that first one. I must say that listening onto this testimony is somewhat hard to imagine. How either witnesses could have performed any malevolent act on the open roof deck without the other noticing forthwith? Well, they could both be in on it. That's right, you see. We're innocent, I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down if the two of you were in collusion with one another. What? According to the investigations by Scotland Yard, two witnesses share no common dealings. Well, I hope to trust coppers any more than I trust the stinking rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial is going in our favor, really. So why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel? For the defense, over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes. Yes, my lord. Oh, goodness. All right, let's see now. Refuting the accusations. We were the only... Well, we should press everything just in case something comes up. So he says we were the only two people up on the roof deck. I guess we'll do that. So at no time did the victim, Mr. Mason, climb up to join you on the roof deck. Absolutely not, Dickin. No reaction from anyone. I think the icon will show up too, so I don't have to look at everyone specifically. No question about it, he said none at all. Why is he riding like a horse? Oh yes, but of course, I remember seeing them both. I saw the victim inside the enclosed cabin talking with the man in there. Is this true, Mr. McGilded? Dear me, my lord. At the risk of repeating myself, I boarded the omnibus alone and nodded off inside almost immediately. That's an outright lie, without a doubt. You were engaged in... Alright, there's no time for argument here. Let me stop you there, fella, and ask, do you have any evidence at all? Tis all about evidence in the court these days, so it is. You do well to remember that. I saw you! These guys are really persistent. And the way that they're acting really tells me that they are, in fact, at fault. If anything had happened where we were sitting, I don't think... Well, I read this. You think one or two of us would have noticed? Let's press this one to see what everyone says. Well, it was on the final run of the omnibus at past 10 o'clock in the evening. It would certainly have been quite dark, perhaps too dark to see clearly. This is some kind of lark. This is some kind of joke, he said. Is that what this is? Or perhaps one or the other of you fell asleep briefly. Are you very dinkum, sir? Are you serious, sir? That's what he said. It's impossible, I'll tell you. I'd give you the keys to the vault if you could fall asleep in that bitter cold. And if you did manage it, your eyelids would freeze shut and you never open them again. That's extreme. It was extreme, I tell you, and we had to put up with it because this man had locked the door. Any true gent would have unlocked it and let me in when I knocked. I'm dreadfully sorry for that young fella, but you see, I was away with the fairies and I didn't hear ye at all. That's a lie. I saw you through the glass. You were talking to someone. I feel like he's gonna have to slip of the tongue soon. Now, 'twas a cold night, so it was. People do be seeing things that aren't real in the cold. 'Tis hardly surprising. Seeing things? I believe we have reached an impasse here on this particular point. You... Don't take it personally now, lad. If I'm a suspect in this case, then 'tis only fair that you and your fiend are too. Open and free competition is what a capitalist society is all about. This isn't a competition. Should have liked to be involved in, really. In any case, neither of us know the first thing about the victim. We had no reason to kill the man. Oh, he said the victim. I thought he meant Mr. McGill. Well, that blows my thought off from earlier. Let me see. Is there anything else I can look through this ledger? Blah, blah, blah. Actually wonder. Blah, blah, blah. Can I open it, please? I want to look through the ledger a bit. Is there any specific name that sticks out? Because if the hat guy's name is in here too. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's name, isn't it? Well, I suppose there's not a gentleman out there. After all, not everyone's well off in this country. How about down here? Is this like a specific? No, it's the same thing. Nope, same thing. Can I like turn the page or anything? Like it'd be nice if I could just turn the page. Alright, well, I'll stop looking at that for now. Alright, the last statement though is the one I think I have an idea of what to do. So no longer this one. So, you had never met Mr. Thrice Fried Mason before. Oh, let me know, not once, never. He never met the man before, he said. Never. And you, Mr. First, had no prior dealings with the victim either? That's right, sir. Had her not have much to do with brick makers, to be perfectly honest. No, I imagine not. You see, how many different ways can I put this? Neither of us have the most... none of us have the remotest connection to the gentlemen who were inside the cabin. Well, he has something to say otherwise. Excuse me. Mr. McGilded? Yes, counsel. What can I be doing for you? Did the witness's last statement give you pause for thought somehow? Not the remotest connection. Is that right now, I wonder? What are you insinuating now? Ah, Mr. Fairplay, 'tis has been a long time, so it has. Huh? If I'm not very much mistaken, I believe it is fast approaching, is it not? Your repayment date? I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me, sir. At an unconscionable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. What now? Is that a touch of begrudgery, is it? The sort of begrudgery that might motivate a fellow to pass his crimes off on another? Ugh. Ooh, some hard accusations there. And young first? Me, sir? What do you want with me, sir? I do be making hats for a living, do you not? That there topped hat sliding on your head, is that one of your creations, is it? Oh, well, I'm still just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning to find the perfect fit for whatever fine gent walks through the door. The perfect fit, is it? Well, 'tis a very distinctive design, so it is. Many customers like it, I tell you. They like it a distinctive touch. Customers? Such as Thrice Fired Mason? There was a photographic print of the victim submitted as evidence of form, my lord. Oh, the hat does match, doesn't it? The very stitchwork hat, I see now. Didn't make that connection earlier. Oh, this you mean. I can't help me thinking that this poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar, would you say? Oh! That's one of my hats. Aye, that it is. So it seemed the brickmaker was a customer of yours. The sort of customer I'd wager you could have had a weak quarrel with over the distinctiveness of the goods. Oh, no, sir. Absolutely not, sir. Well, there was really nothing more to add. It wouldn't be right to say that the two fellows here haven't the remotest connection to the victim, you see. I rest my case. You little weasel. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. McGill has certainly been through Thor in his research, hasn't he? Please, don't let me, little interruption, hold up the proceedings. The skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. Can I, rebuttal this one? In any case, neither of us know the first thing about this man. He had no reason to kill him. Alright, can I present this?
Objection!
Okay, well, apparently, after all the talk of there is a connection, we can't use the photo to make a connection. Okay, well then, we'll just move on now. Alright, what was this guy saying? Skylight was shut the entire time, I tell you. We couldn't possibly have opened it. I mean, you could have. The latch is literally in your side. Are you quite certain about that? That the skylight was shut the entire time? I'm going to lose my block with you in a minute. He's going to lose his rag with you in a minute. That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. What? You want me to disprove you, literally? You see, it shut fast, just like it was on the night. There's a latch. So it is. Of course, a fellow of the size of Mr. Mason could likely break right through it, isn't all? What? Just looking at the size of this thing, you understand? Now you hold on there a minute, sir. The size of this thing means nothing. Not on its own. Let's consider the bigger picture here, shall we? Let's stop biting out Kane, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion when well, I broke wind loudly. I shocked myself with it as it happened. Why did you mention that? That's an unexpected confession, Mr. First. Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried to open the skylight, you see? What? Open the skylight so they could smell it too? But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Wait, you're making it sound like you were inside. Like, why would you need to open it? Everyone was looking daggers at me, and I went as red as a rogue, I did. Are you expecting me to sentence you? Oh no, sir. The point is, the skylight can't be opened. I've tried, and I was when I was inside that cabin of shame. Wow, how did he let it slip that badly?
Excuse me.
I mean, everyone should have heard this when he said he was inside. Do you have something to say about this, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade. It opens. Huh? The skylight. That is what we were talking about, right? No, don't you dare. No smoke bomb again. All them skylights open dead easy. More easily than you can load that weapon. It did take a while. That's a lie, I tell you. Otherwise, when I broke wind, You can't do it from inside, you mug. Oh! Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof of one of them jacks. Not your great hall, I mean, I had pursuit coming out of me ears. Mr. Straw, this is not the form to be eloquizing on the subject of the criminal activities. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last bloke's purse, got wise to me. All four of them surrounded me, so I couldn't opt up the bus and leg it. So what I did was, I used the skylight, opened the catch, and jumped right through. What? Yeah, the catch for the skylights is on the top side. That's why you can't open them from the cabin. The skylight opens from the roof deck. Bailiff! Climb on top of the roof of the omnibus at once and verify the witness's claim. I feel like the carriage man himself could have just told you that it could. Ah! Oh, my hat! No, don't you dare fire that thing. See? I wonder if you'll see her again. Order! 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 So it appears that this street girl's statement is quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opens. From the roof deck. Mr. Naruto. This could be the clue we've been looking for. Well, counsel of the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Time for me to investigate it myself. Let me look at it now. So I think that's what he said before I interrupted him. So the skylight was fastened shut before, but now the catch has been undone. So we should be able to open it. Yeah, there we go. We've opened it. Okay. Any more examinations? You can certainly see the inside of the carriage through this opening for sure. Yes. And there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. so I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see it quite clearly. That's not too good for us. Can I go inside and see what it looks like from here? Well, I mean, it might line up with the blood stain. That's blood, isn't it? Yep, we said that before. Something wrong. It was just, well, this blood seems obvious and all. Okay, if I look up, can I look up? Oh, I can't make any mention of it if you're looking here. Alright, well, oh wait, is that blood? There is blood! Yes, it does open very wide, doesn't it? Wide enough to kick someone like through, certainly. Why, someone like me? Ah, what is it? Look, just there. Look at this. That's, without a question, it's blood. Why would there be blood stain there? Surely, it can't be related to the case, can it? Well, it definitely is. Can't count that out. Let's see, the scene of the crime. There's a blood stain visible on the frame of the skylight when it opens. Ah, we got the evidence we need to proceed on forward. Alright, well, we're going to stop this part here. We're going to take a little break and drink a lot of water to clear my throat for the next part. So, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and until then, guys, I will see you all later. Goodbye.